Good afternoon, Honorable Premier, the member of the executive responsible for education in the Free State, the chairperson of MERSITA, the representatives of the different institutions of higher learning in the Free State, and most importantly, the youth of Free State. Dumelang, good afternoon. Lebitso la ka ke nna Tswelopele Mbalo, and I will be hosting you at this session of ours today. We will call upon the MEC, Ntate Makalo Mohale, who's responsible for education, to give us the opening and welcome, the purpose, and introduce our guests. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Mayor Mbalo, to the Premier of the Province of the Free State, Motheo Dukwana. Let me also recognize the presence of the Chairperson of MERSITA, Motheo Tvet, to the Acting COO of MERSITA, Neftali Mokhotsane, and the entire team from MERSITA, and also recognize the presence of the leadership of Central University of Technology, led by the Vice Chancellor, Prof. Pamela Dube, and the team, and also recognize the presence of Motheo Tvet, led by the principal, Prof. Putsisi, as well as the team that she is leading, and also the representative from the University of the Free State, the director of the Student Life, which is Dr. Wal, and also recognize the presence of other guests, the senior management from government, particularly from the Office of the Premier of the Free State. But most importantly, let me greet all of you, those that are recipient of this good work, who are also going to witness the importance and when government of the Free State together with MERSITA fulfills the promise and the commitment that they have made more or less a month ago. We have gathered here as the provincial governments together with MERSITA and all other institutions of higher learning in our province as a result of the gathering which was held on the 17th of April in the South Campus of University of the Free State. You'd remember that in that particular gathering, a big announcement was done or was made, the first of its kind in our province, in which the provincial governments together with MERSITA and institutions of higher learning announced to you that the two institutions, the provincial government as well as MERSITA, have had very good engagement which have culminated in MERSITA committing to pay for the outstanding fees or the debt or various debts of the students from the three institutions. At that particular time, it was a big announcement. And I know that our people from time to time, when government makes promises, they always wonder whether will that ever happen. And we like to thank the Honorable Premier for having led these discussions, for having led this process to ensure that within a month, that particular promise has been fulfilled. And indeed, as we have gathered here, we are here not just to now make a commitment. We are simply going to give a feedback and demonstrate that indeed the democratic government has delivered. And I would really like you to really join me in thanking the Premier and all the other stakeholders. Indeed, we have delivered. So we have gathered today, won't be long, but we deemed it necessary that when we send this particular message that we have delivered, we don't just say it, but there's also such demonstration, as there will be number of students representing the entire big population who would then receive their certificates, because part of the delivery was to ensure that there is no student who will be seated at home knowing exactly that he or she has qualified but is unable to access his or her certificate, because such certificate is a proof that the student has completed his or her qualification. So with that intervention, it has enabled more than 1,800 students across our province, those that are beneficiaries, that ordinarily they would not have received their certificates. But because of that intervention, they will now receive their certificates. They'll be able to go and show their parents that indeed, Mama, I have made it. Here is the proof. We just want to really say that from the economic and educational sectors, that today's event or demonstration, it goes beyond just coming to show you that we have delivered. But I must assure you that there is a context of this particular activity, because it fits well within the program of government of changing the lives of the people. And we like to applaud MERSITA, because MERSITA, of all the sitters, it is the one that is a driving force in terms of the relevance of the program of where we want to go. I'm raising that because the province of the Free State has taken a decision to say we have to turn things around And part of turning things around simply means that we have to confront our challenges, which includes the unemployment, which includes dealing away with poverty and addressing the issues of equality. And that can only be done in the main by ensuring that we have a functioning economy. And to have a functioning economy, relevant quality education is a subject of that. Now, this relevant quality education in the current conjuncture of our program of improving the lives as government is reliant on ensuring that those young people who are ready and are able to work, they must be capacitated accordingly to perform the skills that are necessary for the economy. And the Free State Province said, we don't want anything, we speak about production and innovation. So when we say certain skills, engineering related, are important, it's not like we disregard the other professions. But the economy now, for us to increase production capacity, which will ensure that it generates a number of jobs which we require. The engineering sectors are the one, or fields are the one that are relevant. And they will be complemented by all the other sectors which we call support services. So those that are in engineering fields, you must know that when you speak of creation of jobs, we are actually looking up to you, because you're the ones that are actually doing the real activities. You are the one, that is why we call secondary sector or secondary economy. The other way that we refer to is a real economy, because you're the one that produce all the other commodities which will help our economy. So the province of the Free State is quite happy because this relationship with MERSITA is quite meaningful. It goes beyond just helping you to have a qualification, but it also falls squarely in our drive to change the economic outlook of our province. That is why we are so happy. That is why we are so excited that when we had to do something about you, and even today, we had to set all other things aside. But the province, the Premier of the Free State will talk more about that. I thought we should just understand this big event that is happening today, that is quite remarkable and is something that we really need to ensure that we really applaud the government of the day for that particular initiative that it has taken. Because I remember when we're discussing the issue of having this intervention of approaching the MERSITA, we even worked throughout, it was even over the weekend, the Premier said to us and other MECs, we have to do something, and I think there's an opportunity there. We had to leave everything to ensure that everyone, this initiative becomes a success. I must indicate, before I call the Honorable Premier, that even in terms of education, we are ensuring as a province of the Free State that we begin to build a pipeline for the TVET sector. So it's not only going to happen in terms of the learning programs from the SETAs only. Even our education system, from general education up to the FET, within the basic education system, start to build a pipeline so that we want the young people to have the relevant skills that are necessary for the economy, being entrepreneurship and also being vocational and for the schools of specialization. That is why now our education system, when we speak of it, we speak of what we call three-stream model, because in that model, we're no longer only focusing on the academic mainstream, but also on vocational and the skills. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to call the Premier of the province of the Free State, who's also the chairperson of the governing party, who has long been in government, so he knows what he's doing. That is why most of the things since he has assumed the office, we are now implementing. It's no more just planning, because he knows exactly what needs to happen. He has the necessary experience. He has been in various departments, in the economy, in education itself, in housing. So basically the key sectors that compose government, our Premier is well conversant of. So we are quite confident that through your support, through responding to the programs that is bringing, we will really take the Free State to claim its rightful space in our country. So let me call upon Motheo Mxolisi Dukwana to come and talk to us. Honorable Premier.
Thank you, Motheo. Good morning. Thanks to the program director, and thank you, MEC Mohale, for welcoming us, and thank you to the leadership of the institutions, CUT, YOFS, and Motheo Collage, and also most importantly, thank you to MERSITA for making this possible. We thank you, Chairperson of the board and the colleagues that you are with, and also all of you, the leadership of the youth in the office of the Premier. You know, I feel good, I feel bad, and I'll tell you why I feel the way I do. I feel good because you worked hard, you did everything possible for you to be where you are against all odds. The other time I was talking to a church, and I said to them, all of us are given a clean canvas to start and develop this masterpiece. And the same goes for you. Every child, every student has ambitions. But it is also very important to know that whilst you have these ambitions to succeed, to be better, and to improve the conditions of your family, but we also carry a burden. We carry a burden because many of us, as you would realize, as soon as you finish and start working, that whatever you're earning, whatever salary you're earning, is not only for you. You've got your siblings to take care of. You've got the family that looks up to you. So when our families spend the little money that they have to make sure that we go to school and we finish, they do that with the full understanding that you will come back and help them. I'm glad in the sense that you can now show the parents that I went to school and I did all that I could and I've finished. I have this. But it is not this that the parents would be excited with. They will be happy that you have passed. They will be happy that you have something to show. You have a certificate to show. But there is an expectation from the parents. The expectation is for you to wake up in the morning the following day and go to work. Your parents are looking at you every day. You have done, you've finished, many of you. Baba in the family, and you are there, you are graduates, you are sitting at home. So the part that makes me feel bad, and you are not going up to work, you are not doing anything. And this hurts the parents. It hurts them. They don't know how to express their feelings because they had expectations where there are expectations, there are bound to be disappointments. And when they see you waking up, not going anywhere, the first 2-3 days are fine. But after that, habakobisi because basa rat. Bakobisa because banale pain. Ouda batwadi ba seba kana garua motho. Ouda batwadi ba seba ya ke nane ke sitse motho sekolong gandi a khona. Ke iwo jwale. Tla ba bua lo mo a che ntsa robetse le degree ya high. And then I know una ile sekolong for boroko. They are not saying that because ba moka. They are not saying, they're saying this out of heartbreak. And we are unable to tell them your situation too. Because you are now dizzy, because when you started schooling, you were told, go to school. You go to school and this will happen. A better life will come through. You will see this. You go to school, hoping to escape poverty. You finish, this poverty manganga is still with you. Ukateletse ngile nguna noro atsba ga rena ke lowe. Ba bang ba lona ba se ba tsamaya dingaka. Ba bang ba lona ba kena dibateng. Ba bang ba lona le etsa ntho tsena kaofela just to fumana mosebetsi. So it is our responsibility, all of us, the universities, the college, government. We must be worried. 2 or so weeks ago, we called on all the international students who were unemployed graduates, and the hall was full. It was during the day, and the hall was full. Now we have you here. As I sit down, as I look at you, the question that was coming up in my mind was, what are we going to do? Bana le expectation. They have energy, they want to go and make a difference. So we are working hard, le MERSITA, the institution is in kaofela, especially with Motheo, to make sure that we're able to reskill our students, our graduates, the youth, to empower them, to make sure that they're ready for the new or the future work that many of us are not sure of. Some of the courses still saying, some of the things still saying are not going to be relevant for the future. You're going to knock on the doors and these doors are not going to open. But we need to start having young people who are entrepreneurs. But some of these people are actually having a problem because they are unable, or with what they have, ideas or some help anywhere. So we need to change our mindset, all of us. But as government, we need to make sure that we build an economy that is able to absorb what we are producing. There is a total mismatch in what we are producing and what is demanded by the economy and many other things. Ba bang ba rona re ya sekolong re batla ho fumana, tse ding di thata ho rona re tjho jwalo, we go for the easier ones, tse reng di easy. Ban fela re batla ho qeta sekolong. You know, I tell people that I became a teacher by mistake. We had hoped that I wanted to be a doctor because I grew up looking up to doctors. And I grew up, and as we finished schooling, we did not apply. We knew we would pass, but we did not apply. So when we finished, we house nanto yetsa skolo high duty high dikolo diabulwa, and then a friend of ours was going to school on Ayampohati. And then we jumped into a baki that then he said Yaparota high. And when we got there, college. And then after colleging, the rector was very excited, and then the rector was about to Banebalte. So the parents, both of them were parents of our friends, and then they were related, Kilichomi. And then they asked the question, and they said, Papa sits hand. And then the rector said, okay, I'll give them bursary. They don't have to pay anything. You can imagine. Already, batswadi ba kopana ba re bolela hore ha e be le bana le tla ya mono, ha e be le dipoho le tla dula mo. Jwale ntate wa ka yena ba santse a fetisa a re ha e be le poho o tlo tlohelle sefane se sa hao le lebitso le ko fileng lona, o hlobole diaparo tseo di apereng kaofela, o tswe haka lo ipatlela mokhukhu wa hao. Ha o sa na lebitso le. You can imagine as a child o bolela hore ha o sa na lebitso a ona ntwe o tsamaya o tsotse o tswe mona lo qala bophelo fatshe. So the best thing that was left for us was, okay, let me just see get la bona ha dilemo di tse di ya get la change. We fell in love with teaching. But there are people who would end up in areas and professions. So, and they get bored, and they get frustrated, and then you see many people doing things. So, Holona, as you are here, whilst we celebrate this, we are hard at work in making sure that halolo dula hae, because waria rona ya hore le lo dula hae al qeta mo, and this is worrisome. A re batle lo qabana le batswadi ba lona, o bonagana hore batswadi ba ba rate. So in trying to do that, we are working very hard in turning Harib as our green village, a green energy village, a green village in all respect. We will be working with a South Korean company in building a 600 megawatts solar plant plus 400 megawatts hydro energy. And that would actually be one of the biggest in Africa in terms of what we want to do. And very soon, probably by August, we will be starting this process. But also, we want to also look at the economy, our gas economy in the area. We have discovered liquefied natural gas and helium. And not only in the area but the better part region. So this is a new economy that we want to venture in as we want to build the Free State as the center energy hub and to provide South Africa with the energy security that it needs. And we know with that, and as we deal with the helium and what helium does, And as is the bigger component, most of your semiconductors. We are looking at the space economy also because you need, it works very well in Africa. We have not explored this opportunity. We go out of the continent for us to be able to do our research and everything. So we want to ensure that we build that capacity, and it's something that we are working on now. It's not something. So we hope, as we ask you sometimes, or really risky, le Kennedy program, we will do that. Not only in government, but in the other sectors, this will be appreciated. And we appreciate that very much. And we're looking forward to having you as the young people with energy, with ideas, and with everything. I get changing the way we look at things and the way education is. Our move away from the more comfort, the comfort zone. Think differently. The only way you government, that's the only area of now I want you to think differently. How do you help? How can you help us solve these issues? Lile skolo, nello batla skolo. Lile skolo letle tsebo ho nahana, letle tsebo fumana di solutions ho mathata, and using these solutions to build some of the industries tseo tse ka thusang setjhaba sa heso. So re a le kopa. Tloelang ho ba bedene dikelelong tsa lona. Itokolleng bokgobeng ba ho hloleha ho nahana. You have been given a chance ya hore ho tloha mo leng teng ho fitlela mona o provile hore you can think. Use your brain independent of any other thing and use it for the benefit of society o leng ho yona. Hagicetela Arke ANC Chaba se proud. ANC Chaba se proud. Kibwa soto bane ke batla ho re itshebe. Arke re be Chaba se proud. Re ke ra ba proud ka jwala. Re ke ra ba proud ka jwala. Re ke ra nahana hore re ba bohlale ka ho ba matawa. Re ke ra aha setjhaba ka batjha ba fetohile matawa. Re tlameile ho fetola sebopeo seo re leng sona. Re ke ra bonwa fela ka hore bo freita ha ba qala dibaka tsa jwala di tletse ke rona. Empa ha ona mono re nahanang re ba le seo re dulang ho sona, re ke re nahane ka dintho tse tla tlisang phetoho le ntho tse tjhentjha maemo a rona. Re ke ra sheba TikTok every time ha o bona batho ba batsho. Talent ya rona re hlahisang TikTok ko jaifa. Kore re a etsa ntwena, the best thing that we have done mo TikTok ke talent ya rona ya ho jaifa. Ke a le leboha ka ho jaifa, le a tseba ho jaifa. A re ke re etseng, a ke le re bontsheng, a ke le etseng TikTok, le etse video ya TikTok e ka bontshang hore o na le ho hong o nahanang. Haebe wena o sa boreya ke motho yo motsho ya hlaelang a jaifa, nna ke boreile. Ke a le kopa hle. Re a tseba le a sotheya. Nka mmele ya lona re bone ya kgona ho sotheya. Sothisang dikelello tsa lona he re bone le a kgona ho di sothisa. Me ka mantswano a re leboha, a re bona DJ a kena, ntate Radikontsane, ntate Sakimukwena, MEC ya tsa temo a kena di MEC tse ding o tshore le qetile ka speed a qeta o tsamaya fela ka se le tšhetša a ke sa tlhola ke le sia le exco ke a leboga go lona kaofela ke a kgolwa le tla gopola mantswe a ka ga ke le rwake ke mpa ke kgathatseile ke ne ke botsa le bontate ke hlola ke bona le bontate ke a ba botsa mehla ena. I ask all of you, I ask batho ba ne ba etsa jwala ba boentse ba boetsa ka tsela e nngwe, but there is something e ke bona mehla ena. You go and meet a wealthy man. I could be a rich man, I'm talking a wealthy man, a wealthy woman. Otabanka, whether ke veini kapo ke whatever e nwang, o e lahlela fela botolo ntho e kana nyana ba o bolela hore a sale ke reka botolo ena a year ago. A ba etsa nthonyana eno a ba tlo. Mare rona o dula bosiu kaofela botolo ena o ntso e mixa ka coke a ke tsebe jwalo o so ikentse o so tšhintšhile o so batla gore le wena o ka kgona o etsa jwala bo betere o betsa coke o betsa appetizer o betsa metsi o etsa di ice botolo e be fela bo lo reka e nngwe hape kore before o tawa ha o tloelle and potso kore a na ntho ena ke siki ya rona batho ba senang bokgoni obane batho ba nang le tšhelete ha ba etse jwalo rona batho ba senang tšhelete ha o tswa fo nka botolo ya 6,000 o e no bo utlo motho this is 6,000 ke mentality ya motho e kelelo e tsamaile jwale jale kopa he ho lona mona ha o ska ba hlola ba le ngwana ya tla reng o tla lonwa 6,000 ya hloya ha e fele boko ba e bo fele kwana. Because I'm telling you, ore o lebala o etsa dintho tse ding and le kelelo ya o tsamaya le botlolo ye. Jwale jale ko pa hle le kene sekolo tloelang wa abusa di kelelo tsa lona. Ha o batla o nwa e re fela tip o be hantle o tsamaya. Jwale le tawa le se la tseba le o bua and ha ona ntwe bohloko jwalo ka motho a tauwe. Every time o tlotla wena ntate wa re ke tauwe nna o tauwe wa bona o tauwe batho wa hana motano wa ke tauwe nna ke tauwe kae empa ntse o bona o tauwe jwale le bana ba hantle ha le tawi ho lona mona ha ona le mong a kila nwa jwala nix ha le botsebi jwala bo so ha o dula o le jwalo bana baka le se la bo tshwara ne ku utlwa o di le fariki ya bohaneng ke a lebo.
Thank you, Honorable Premier. Let me also acknowledge the presence of the Director General of the Free State Provincial Government, as well as the MEC responsible for agriculture and rural development, Dr. Sakim Queen. Indeed, Free State is in a skills revolution, and the Free State Provincial Government is taking the futures of the young people seriously. In terms of our amended program, we are going to move over into the handover ceremony of the certificates. It's important to note that the certificates that are going to be handed out today are the ones that have been printed. The certificates from Motheo Tvet Collage are at the institution, you will get them there. And from the Central University and the University of the Free State, they are also at your respective campuses. Okay, the first one is a Certificate of Achievement N6 Engineering Studies awarded to Rasuta Tato Good Enough. The Certificate of Achievement N6 in Tourism awarded to Thole Kilebogile. Certificate of Achievement N6 in Engineering Studies awarded to Muhudi Orapeleng Atang. Certificate of Achievement N6 awarded for Human Resource Management awarded to Mukopu Magologotso. Certificate of Achievement N6 Engineering Studies awarded to Tomotomo Refilwe and indicates that she has passed with distinction. Certificate of Achievement N6 in Engineering Studies awarded to Botsani Mudisenyane Jafta. Recipients from Motheo Tvet Collage from the Central University of Technology. We've got a diploma in office management and technology awarded to Bridget Mukhasi. Diploma in Office Management and Technology has been conferred to Retabile Maureen Mobe. Diploma in Human Resource Management, Sipokazi Zoleka Adwans. Diploma in Office Management and Technology has been conferred to Jeanette July. A diploma in Human Resource Management has been conferred to Mamelo Kakana. A diploma in Engineering Technology in Civil Engineering has been confirmed to Dira Handsome Dlamini. So we'll call on Mekate Moloto first to say something.
Good afternoon, Premier, MECs, VC, all guests. It gives us great honor as the MERSITA to be here today to witness this handing over ceremony. We really want to thank the Free State Province for the way that they handled the cooperation. As they said, within 1 month, we are able to hand over. You know, as an institution, we do want to stress that this is an answer to a clarion call that we were given by our mother department, the Department of Higher Education. So, as you know, you are called the missing middle. I think we need to just try and find a different name to this, because you are not missing, you are there. For some reason, you get overlooked. And I think this section of students is worse, because we all worry about getting you to finish. But once you have finished and you are now not able to get a job, we have forgotten about you, and we are worried about the ones that are still coming along. So it is really pleasing for us to have been able to achieve this, and we thank the Premier in particular for personally making sure that all the documents are signed and everything is in order for you to get this handover today. And we do want to thank our mother department, DHED, for allowing us this opportunity to make this difference in young people's lives.
Thank you. We'll then call Prof. Putsisi.
To the Premier of the Free State, Motheo Dukwana, to the MECs in attendance, the Director General of the Free State Province, the colleagues from different higher education institutions, the members, the chairperson of the board of MERSITA, and the management of MERSITA with us, the officials of institutions from higher education department, our officials from government, the recipients of the beautiful services delivered by our Premier and the Free State Province, provincial government. Let me greet everyone and thank the Program Director for this opportunity. As Motheo Tvet Collage, we are very thrilled to be part of this initiative today. This gesture, Memoloto, means quite a great deal to us. You don't know what it means to the young people who could not afford to pay their fees, who had long outstanding debts with institutions. And yourselves with the Premier have opened doors for these young people to realize their dreams and their future. Many of them have been yearning to pay off their debts and get their certificates, but due to unforeseen circumstances, they couldn't. As an institution, we really want to stand firm here and thank the chairperson of MERSITA, who has not been serving in this SITA only. In her previous life, she was the member of the board of Services SITA, the board that gave us funding to establish a National Artisan Development Academy. I really want us to applaud her. This is the academy that would help South Africa to realize the production of 30,000 artisans by 2030. As Services SITA, they made this province and South Africa at large proud. We really want to thank you, ma'am. This is a very small world. You walk you live with people, you establish relations. Little would you know that one day you'll meet or cross paths with them again. We, as an institution, Premier, we realized that you wanted to personify the words pronounced by the former president of this country, Nelson Mandela, who said, "Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell and got back up again." Yes, go ahead. In your State of the Province address, you indicated the high rate of unemployment. You further shared with us your initiatives on the table to turn the situation around and the lives of young people to the better. Today's occasion is a testimony to that. From this project that you are driving from your office, as Motheo Tvet Collage, we managed to have funding for 1,157 students who were owing the institution, who could not afford to pay. You have given us funding with MERSITA for 400 mechanical engineering students and many other related for placement at various municipalities, 80 municipalities across the Free State Province. They will be able to get their stipends from this partnership and initiative, driven both by MERSITA and the Free State government. As an institution at that very National Artisan Development Academy, we have received funding for the following trades and occupations. We will be able to procure welding machinery. We have currently Memoloto bought equipment for coded welding. These young people must come to that institution, that campus, to be trained on coded welding. It is one of the scarce and critical skills for you to benefit from. Boiler making, electricians, solar photovoltaic technicians, automotive motor mechanics, panel beaters, vehicle painter, and we also were able to buy CNC machines for us to be able to manufacture furniture. Motheo Tvet Collage is manufacturing furniture, and we are going to employ our graduates who performed well, of course, at the college who were doing furniture making, to come back and work in that factory and produce furniture for the Free State Province and for South Africa at large. So you must embrace this opportunity. MERSITA can't invest in us, and we do not move. Further on, we have received funding for SMME development for young people to be able to establish their businesses and employ other young people, create jobs. So MERSITA has done quite a great deal for our society, for this province. We really want to thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts, and to thank our Premier. We have never had this kind of an attention as a Tvet College sector, where our government is from the Free State, is reaching out there for us to receive funding. We are grateful for this support, and we feel very much indebted towards delivering a service for the realization of a better future for our young people. Let me thank you, Program Director, and thank the Premier and MERSITA.
And lastly, with the message of support, Dr. Viepiaval.
Thank you, Palesa. It's always nice to see one of our former students flourishing professionally. Honorable Premier, MECs, Director General, all the distinguished representatives from the various educational institutions, and most of all, our students, Dumelang, and congratulations. I think what happened here, Honourable Premier, is really significant. Data tells us that in South Africa, the return on investments on post-secondary qualifications is still some of the highest in the world. So amidst all the challenges that we face, we know that once a student walks over the podium and receives a qualification, the chances are much higher that that person will get a job. And we had our graduation ceremony at the University of the Free State about 3 weeks ago, and it's always touching to see that families in the hall celebrate the victory of somebody like yourselves who got a qualification. And of course, it's really a joyous occasion. But it takes a team effort, and from the University of the Free State, the relationship with the Office of the Premier, with MERSITA, with CUT and Motheo Collage is really important to us. We know that we face many challenges as a country and as a community, and alone we can't do that. We need to take hands. And we experienced that. We committed to that. We recently launched our Vision 130 at the University of the Free State, and under the leadership of Dr. Bonang Mohale and Professor Peterson, we committed to make an impact in society. And we will do that through engaged scholarship, what we call engaged scholarship. And in that regard, our vision is really to position research in a way that will impact society, to position our learning and teaching strategies in a way that will impact society, and what we call also engaged citizenship through launching various projects that will impact society in various ways. And I told the chairperson of MERSITA, we had last weekend what we call our eco-vehicle race, and what was so wonderful, CUT was involved in that. It's a project that was, we received seed funding from MERSITA, and we allow students to build small electric vehicles powered by solar energy, and they've got wonderful race and a lot of fun, but in the process they're also learning some skills what we believe will distinguish them in the labor market, not only nationally but also internationally. So the partnership with the Office of the Premier, with MERSITA, and with other educational institutions in the region is extremely important for us. So thank you very much, and congratulations again to all the students.
Thank you very much, Dr. Val. Okay, we will now have the vote of thanks by Prof. Alfred Ngoi.
The Premier of Free State, Honorable Dukwana, the MEC of Education, Honorable Makalu Mohale, the MEC for Agriculture, Mr. Saki Mokwena, the MEC for Distea, Mr. Tabo Moeko, Director General of Free State Provincial Government, Kopun Kodensana, all other officials of the Free State Provincial Government who are here, the chairperson of MERSITA, Mr. Kate Moloto, the CEO of MERSITA, Mr. Naftali Mokotsane, and all MERSITA delegation who are here, the principal of Motheo Tvet Collage, Professor Pusinti, and her delegation, Dr. Wal of Free State University, all assistant campus managers of Motheo and other institutions who are here, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, our students and the recipients of the awards today. Good afternoon to you all. Honorable Premier, the importance of education generally and the job skills in particular for for the growth and development of Free State Province hardly need to be emphasized. The relationship between Central University of Technology as well as other higher education institutions in the province with the provincial government dates back a long time ago. 3 years ago, CUT with the provincial government hosted the first provincial Fourth Industrial Revolution Summit. And out of that was the effort to implement the initiative of the president of the country of saying that we are not going to be left behind in the Fourth Industrial Revolution. That summit ushered in the effort of the provincial government to drive certain Fourth Industrial Revolution technologies. Premier, if I can mention some of those technologies, number one is artificial intelligence. Then we have 3D printing. Then we have got robotics. And then finally, we have got blockchain. So those technologies enabled us to do the second provincial government Fourth Industrial Revolution Summit. And that took place in July in 2022. It was attended by the Minister of Communication and Digital Technologies. And out of that, she promised and she has delivered that CUT is going to form a hub of a Free State Province of Artificial Intelligence Institute. And that hub is going to start in August this year. Premier, this is just to indicate the effort which, and the amount of effort which the provincial government has put in the effort of working with the institutions of higher learning in order to get the development of the province. So then, while the government of South Africa and the provincial government of Free State have dedicated a lot of resources to education and skill development, there are a lot of gaps that need to be addressed. And one of such gaps is the student debt, which has rendered some graduates unemployable because they cannot get the certificates to show the employer that they have got qualifications. So Mamoloto, the effort by MERSITA to give funding for students to pay their debts in order to get certificates goes a very long way in changing the lives of these students. The other challenge is the general unemployment of graduates from institutions of higher education. You have seen the statistics that we have almost up to 30% of students not being employed. And this is caused mainly by the apparent mismatch between what students learn at the higher education institutions and what employers want for their work. So the Premier has just mentioned that we have to focus on the skills for job, because the education generally is not going to cut it in the future of work. So it's very important that the institutions of higher learning in the province and the government generally focus on the skills which are required for the jobs of today and the jobs of the future. So the involvement then of MERSITA in the sponsorship of students to acquire the skills which are required for the jobs of the future is quite commendable. Similarly, the MERSITA initiative to pay off the student debts is timely as well as highly commendable because, as I've mentioned, it changes lives, real lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to thank the Premier and his team for spearheading this effort. We have heard here that it is the hard work of the Premier, together with his team, that initiated the look of this funding. So really we commend him for that. And if you can give the Premier and the team a big applause for that. Let me also thank MERSITA for making the funds available. This is very much appreciated. Again, it is going to change a lot of lives, not only for the students, but for their families as well. A big applause to MERSITA, please. So once again, let me congratulate the recipients of the awards today, because you don't just get the award because people like you. You get an award because you have put effort and we got results. So once again, may I request you to join me in giving a big applause to the awardees. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, it will be amiss of me of not thanking everybody here for making time to come to this occasion. You can imagine if it is only the people in front who came to this occasion, how it was going to be. So thank you, and give yourself a big applause. Okay, finally, I would like to thank the Director of Ceremonies for the efficient way she ran this event. Thank you so much.
Central TV.